Shout out to Soul Traveler, man. Say what's up to the crowd, man.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Glad to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, we give you a round of applause right now. Anyways, man, what's happening, Soul Traveler, man? I see you've been posting some videos, man. You been catching some flack?
Yeah, some A-Dog. Been getting a little A-Dog flag. Whenever the truth comes out, it hurts. It's like alcohol on a wound.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been getting a little bit of pushback, but hey, it comes with the territory. It's to be expected.
Dog, I'm kind of just bored now because these motherfuckers lie so goddamn much, man. But anyways, man, shout out to shout out to you lying. Shout out, man. Here's it, man. Here's the firing squad, man. Y'all motherfuckers are some goddamn liars, man. My God, man. They are some fucking liars, dog. Like, the other day, man, I was on YouTube, and I ran across a video of Ann Coulter promoting her book called Adios America, How the Left is Churning America into a Third World Hellhole. What in the fuck is that? But Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks made this hashtag in this movement. But by coincidence, every anti-immigrant, in particular anti-black immigrant rhetoric, was spewed in that book, but you made out. But the lie detector says
that was a lie.
That had to be a lie, boy. Come on, man. Is that a coincidence, bro?
Man, I can tell you one thing. If you got the word adios, you take out the I, you won't be able to see anything. So, there you go. American descendants of slaves. I mean, it can't be made up. It's not a coincidence.
When I say that, you know what they tell me?
You are fake news.
They I swear to God, man. The other day, actually, you know that Jesse Lee Peterson motherfucker that made the video on you? You know, old mushmouth, old ass.
Yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson's son.
Yeah, Jesse Lee
Peterson's son.
Like illegitimate son. You know what I'm saying? You remember that nigga? That nigga made it. And I call him a nigga because he looked like a goddamn nigga. Now, one of the things about this whole movement, now I start to see more of real dumbasses coming. There was just made a video basically complaining about ADOS. Ruined hip hop by again, the Nigerians were bootlegging the music back in something that he kind of only out goddamn ignorant. I'm like, British stank that Napster probably like 15, 16 old, and he made it everybody can music free. Now, I think I lost you for a little bit. Did you hear what I said? So,
yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. But did you hear what I said?
Okay. Nah, I missed the large chunk. Were you talking about Jesse Lee Peterson's illegitimate son?
Yeah, but no, what I started to realize with this movement, now you start having a lot of these idiots. Now, it was mostly the face of the movement was just like Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks, which
the
are,
intellectuals.
me.
Yeah. the intellectuals.
They're intellectual. They're media savvy. They're okay. That was you being facetious on that one, but they're at least a little bit media savvy. Now, what you have is like these dodo birds, nigga, and then you might have a couple niggas that probably read a book in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just talking about this dumbass nigga that made this video, how black immigrants ruined hip hop, basically. So he blamed hip hop being ruined by black immigrants because they were bootlegging the music. Back in the early 2000s or something like that. You know those Nigerian guys selling bootleg CDs and stuff like that. But the inconvenient truth about this whole thing is about 16 years ago, this young white kid, I think his name is like Sean something, had a website called Napster where you can download music for free. That kind of pretty much ruined everything. I don't know how you can put everything on the Nigerian bootleggers when some white kid made it to where all the music was free, you dumbass. I don't even know what. Shout out to that idiot. There's starting to be a lot more of those niggas on the internet talking about reparations. And Yvette, Tone Talks, Tariq, y'all got to keep these niggas off fucking the internet, man, because they making you guys look really bad. This whole ass nigga also was mad that he said that Jamaicans, basically hijacked all the crime, and he was beef with because they, I guess they took over the drug trade in New York in his neighborhood, so he was mad about that. I'm like, come on, man. Dog, when they start giving these checks out, man, these niggas ain't even going to be able to go get the checks because there's going to be warrants out for their arrest. You dumbass nigga, man. Why the fuck would you go on the internet and say some bullshit like that? Come on, bruh.
I bet you the police department could put in the classified ads, put the names of all the people who receive reparation checks this month, and they could all have warrants. And about 99% of them niggas would go in for their reparation checks.
You think so?
We live in victim. Every ADOS person is a victim. We live in a victimhood era. And everyone who's in ADOS is a victim. Somebody did something to mess them up. Although our ancestors paved the way for you, you destroyed what my ancestors created. How? I don't know. Especially to a group of people who make up only 10% of the population.
Dog, bruh. Dog, I there's like lies coming up every fucking day, dog. Like the another fucking hole in their goddamn boat about black immigrants. They said black immigrants. I mean, I had to bring up the Liberia and Sierra Leone, but Haiti, for instance, I forgot what president, but there was many presidents that have movements. They actually gave slaves, freed slaves in America, land over in Haiti. And guess what? Half those niggas came back. And I'm not making this up. You know what I'm saying? When you say we haven't reciprocated,
detective determined that was a lie.
You know what I'm saying? When you say that, I mean, like I always said, and I say this all the time, dog, whatever is in the dark will come to light. But how can these niggas come out with how can they have the gall, the audacity, the shit like you guys ain't never reciprocated when they know this information is out there like that? Are these niggas that dumb? Or are these niggas just getting taken advantage of? Like, all throughout history, Sambo's been promised that the big piece of chicken in the big house. And Massa has never let Sambo into the big house and gave him the big piece of chicken. So why the fuck would he give it to you now?
Hey, it's hope. Keep hope alive. Who said that? Jesse James? Or not Jesse James.
Jesse Jackson?
Jesse Jackson? Who said that? Keep hope alive.
I don't even know, man. But
eternally hopeful.
I know a lot of people are... This is tough, man. Here, I'm going to give you a couple fucking shots of your goddamn knees, man, and bring you down to fucking earth, man. Bring you to your fucking knees. You niggas are keep lying and shit like that. Why fuck you lying? You always lying. Man, there's going to be some niggas right now in my comments crying like little bitches, man. You know what I'm saying? I can already hear that crying. Oh no, hold your own nuts. Hold your own nuts. Oh, you haven't did anything. Quit piggybacking. No, you shut the fuck up, man. Punk ass nigga. Come on, man.
Hey, let me ask you a question. When they say hold your own nuts, what that means for us to march by ourselves? They're not going to march with us? They're not going to protest with us? Like, protesting doesn't accomplish shit. So when you say hold your own nuts, are you telling us to go march? Because I don't protest, I don't march, because I know that don't do anything.
Right.
So just like you guys been marching since back in the '60s and prior to that, newsflash, all that marching, all the miles you niggas put on your shoes, it ain't do shit. It ain't do shit. So when you tell me to hold my nuts, I envision myself to do the same thing I've always been doing. Being a goddamn man.
Gotta tell me to hold my own nuts. I hold my own nuts. I've held my own nuts. I don't know where the fuck they get this thing from. Dog, listen.
Yeah, well,
we know that a certain people have a relationship with massa. They are loyal to massa. They need to show massa their loyalty. You know, usually, it's like when you were little kids, you know what I'm saying? You had the one person that wanted to prove himself. He would never fight the bully, which was massa. He would never fight the bully, but he would pick a fight with somebody that was, you know, that he perceived that couldn't beat him. Motherfucker, you don't want it with Haitians. Man, we have been enslaved in this continent since like 1512, and we keep surviving. We beat the French, we beat the Spanish, we fucked up the British. Fuck all you guys. We are not an easy lick, brother. We're not an easy lick, dog. We're not an easy fight. So all that bullshit that you guys are talking, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know who put a battery in your back, but you better simmer that fucking battery down, because I don't think we are the people that you want smoke with. And I'm just keeping it all the way gully.
Not. We got two completely different spirits, right? We got some people have a spirit where they march and they want to see the good side of the same people who've been oppressing them. Others, we don't care if you have a good side or not. You've reached your field of doing wicked to us, and now we must eliminate you. Those are two completely different groups of people.
Right. And
as far as being ADOS, this is a group of people who will beg. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to beg louder. And that's all they do. They threaten to get louder in their begging. But they have no physical action behind that.
Right.
So, I mean, unless if you're a smaller group of people, you're weaker than them, then yeah, maybe they will attack you. But massa, they will not attack massa.
They can't attack massa because massa promised them a check. So, you know what I'm saying? They got to be on their P's and Q's, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to to be on your best behavior now. You know? They've whipped the Kunta off of you. Now they're calling you Toby boy. Come on, man. Shout out to the real brothers and sisters out there, man. I'm not talking about every black American or anything like that. I'm just talking about these dancing Sambos out here, man, begging for a piece of chicken, man, at Master's table, man. You are embarrassing our ancestors right now. They are rolling over. They're like, we fought for this, for you to have a light-skinned clit licker saying what we should have. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
I ain't going to catch flack on that, but anyways, man, that shit got me hot, man.
ADOS movement is we gave up. Essentially, is that we worked. Hey, you know, if I'm gonna explain, if someone worked a job, right, and the owner said, "Hey, man, I don't have any money to pay you today, but I'm gonna pay you tomorrow," and they say, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll work tomorrow," and they come back, they come to the owner say, "Hey, man, you know what? I thought I was going to get the money tomorrow. I'm going to get it next week. Can you work until next week?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, okay." And then next week comes, and it's like, "Hey, man, can you keep working for me? I don't know when I'm going to get the money, but as soon as I get it, I'm going to pay you for everything you worked for already." Right. And they're like, this is ADOS. ADOS sees themselves as being part of America. They built America because they gave America their free labor, right? Right. They gave America their free labor, and they're like, well, now they want a paycheck. And all Master has to do is say, "Hey, you know what? I ain't got it right now, but if you come back in another 50 years, I think I'll have it." And this is what ADOS will do. They won't attack Master. They won't have anything negative to say about Master. Now, Master could bring in illegal immigrants. He could make sanctuary cities for them. They're going to attack the immigrants living in the sanctuary city, but they will not attack Master. So the ADOS movement is a group of people who believe they have sweat equity into America, and they will wait for their paycheck whenever Master decides to pay them, if he ever will.
But Master has promised that piece of chicken and a seat at the table in the big house forever, and it's never happened. You know what I'm saying? They tell Sambo to go beat on the other slaves, probably, back in really slavery days, whenever they brought a new crop of Africans in there, you had, the older slave that wanted to prove that he was still loyal to Master, and Master would be like, "Go beat those slaves over there and keep them in line." And, he was ready to do that. And I think this is going on today. It's like, the slave DNA, the offspring of the slave owner, the kid that's been neglected, and he wants to be acknowledged that he is in Master's bloodline. He wants to show Master his loyalty, doesn't he?
Yes, he wants to show Master that.
What's the easiest way to show Master's loyalty? Beat on some immigrants.
Beat on other. Well, this is par for the course. I mean, when you feel like your slave position is in danger, what do? You attack that other person. Right. So they have to maintain their slave position in the society. That is ADOS. ADOS is saying, look, master, I don't want to be no Africans no more. I just want to be American. And whenever you need to pay me, I'm going to sure be here. And they will never say a word to master for bringing in illegal immigrants, legal immigrants, or black immigrants. They will just attack those other people who they perceive as a threat towards their position.
Yeah. Some of this stuff just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like Yvette Carnell, she has a beef with black immigrants. Is it because... Maybe because I think a lot of our countries that we come from, especially African countries, they're not too... homosexuality doesn't sit too well with them, right? I know, like in certain places, it's just straight out illegal. And could that be some of the internal beef that? Well, I mean, obviously, there's some type of beef that she has with African immigrants in Caribbean immigrants, and she's using this as a guise, as a reparations of guise. You know, because she understands that this shit is really not realistic to even get, but she's leading this movement. But do you think that might be her beef? Is because usually like African diaspora in general is like anti homosexual.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, you're a half breed. And you're a lesbian, so I mean, and if someone still accepts you as being black under those conditions, then man, my gosh. So she wants to be accepted as black, or at least she wanted to before she just said to hell with it. I'm just gonna go against you niggas, and now that's her hate. And now she created a hate group, but it was easy. It was easy. All you got to do is find a group of dumb niggas who will follow a half-bred lesbian into asking for reparations. So, yeah, that's it. It came from her lifestyle would not be accepted by other nations, and she's found a home here. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, for somebody like her, right? She's a proponent, and she's obviously light skinned, but she says both her parents are black, which you don't end up with that recessive color by accident. There's something.
She's an albino.
I don't know. Maybe she is. I don't know. I don't know how you end up with that lack of melanin in your skin if you're 100% black or ADOS or whatever.
If both of your parents are black. Yeah.
So she took a DNA test right now, right? And she says she's 50% African and 40% European, Irish, or whatever. Are we supposed to just look past all that European? I'm asking
you're asking me
a sincere question. Are we supposed to just look past all that? Is it a one drop rule? Is it a 50% rule? What do you think the standard will be, or what is the standard now for ADOS?
The one drop rule was made to guarantee to maintain impurity of the black race. The one drop rule was created to impure the black race. And it maintained purity of the white race. Because if the one drop rule exists so that they are black, whenever someone is distinguished to have any little bit of black DNA in them, they cannot be accepted as white. So you maintain racial purity with the whites, but with the black, you create a bigger and bigger pool more and more diluting that race. So that's my opinion on it.
I don't know, man. I give up, man. We're at a point of diminishing return, man. We're at that point of diminishing return. And we are, I don't even know. This is uncharted territory. I've never seen the stupidity that I've seen displayed in a while. But one thing that I saw the other day was Bernie Sanders, you know. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a big fan of the two-party system. I don't even mess with that. But what was so funny was now, because you have this Marianne Williamson woman. You guys got to go see her interview with Tone Talks. It's absolutely hilarious. She said that white people were, every time she goes in and gives a speech and she mentions reparations, he says all the white people get up and clap. That shit is the funniest shit ever. I don't even know why would she even lie like that. But anyways, the lie detector says
determined that was a lie.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, now you had Julian Castro, Elizabeth Warren. Julian Castro, you know how Spanish people are. You know, he's a white Spanish guy. And usually, you know, in terms of white supremacists, they're usually parallel to the white supremacist white guy. You know, they usually, if anything, they show more disdain for black people. You know, because they come usually from caste societies like Dominican Republic, you know, Venezuela and shit like that. They let black people know that you guys are at the bottom and we don't give a fuck about you. He's talking about reparations. I'm kind of scared. I'm like, damn, if he's talking about reparations, they really got some fucking bullshit up they goddamn sleeve right now. I mean, that shit is going to be the ultimate bait and switch. And you know a Spanish white guy is not giving no niggas reparations. You crazy, unless he's going to be able to make it to where all Spanish people get reparations. But where I'm going with this was Bernie Sanders. So the black people now are putting the pressure on Bernie Sanders to have some type of agenda when it comes to reparations. And they keep pressing him. And his response is like, define what it is. That's how he's trying to stay neutral. But these niggas want him to almost guarantee that he is going to lose the election. And to me, how stupid could someone be to spend all that time campaigning and spend all that time raising money just to guarantee that I'm not going to win? Huh?
Well, first of all, your voting block is the smallest. Is one.
They basically want Bernie to be a black man. And I was like, have you looked at the motherfucker? He's not black. You think that he's going to be like Black Captain Hero during this goddamn campaign just to basically make sure that he doesn't win? Come on, man.
The LBG community has a bigger voting block than the black community.
That shit is the dumbest thing.
So there you go.
And deals are not made in the public. Dog.
No, they're not.
For you smart ADOS people, I'm giving a shout out to you guys. Tell me, when Jewish people got their reparations, tell me what campaign that they were campaigning that on. When the Indians got their reparation, tell me what campaign. It never happened. You can't campaign on something like that, you dumbass. You're almost assuring yourself, like Kamala Harris. I'm like, It's I really don't even get it. So they want Bernie to pretty much wear black reparations on his neck and lose the election.
He might as well.
Huh?
He might as well wear a Black Lives Matter shirt while he's at it.
So tell me this, all right. If Bernie goes ahead and paints himself black and, he's the new Malcolm X, runs a campaign, loses to Trump again, where does that help? What does that help? Because Trump is not going to give you guys a goddamn thing. Period. That's the ultimate slave master right there. Like, he is the ultimate slave master. That master ain't giving you a goddamn thing. So where the fuck does that leave you?
That leaves. Well, you know what? Hey, maybe ADOS might make a 180 degree and turn to the black immigrants and be like, "Hey guys, how y'all doing?"
Hey, big head. Hey, big head.
But me knowing ADOS people, I don't know if it's possible. Hey, but even to be claiming ADOS means you gotta be stupid, and so that tells me they're not gonna do that, and they're just gonna put themselves in a corner, even in a deeper corner, if that's even possible. They're biting off any aid, because let's make this a well-known fact. Black immigrants in America lead to the black population worldwide outside of America. Black Americans or AS people only make up 40 million. Okay? The black population worldwide is what? Is it at 1 billion or over 1 billion?
I don't know.
So when you look at that, sorry?
You're talking about colored. I don't know. That's a number I need to look up, but it's significant. I mean, 40 million is a very small percentage of us worldwide. Hello?
Hey, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah. I think Brazil has a bigger population than American blacks. I think they have the largest. But
outside of Africa.
Outside of Africa, yeah. I think they have the largest.
Well, Brazilians can ask the Democrats for reparations. African Americans, maybe not. You guys only make up 10% of the American population. So, I mean, the LGBT community, again, is more than 10%, according to their numbers.
Right.
Now, you're forcing Bernie Sanders' hand into approving reparations. I mean, unless he loves black people.
Let me take a step back. And I want you guys to understand that I'm not saying anything bad about reparations and how it's needed. But you are trying to get him to run into a burning building to where he pretty much guarantees that he's not going to win nothing. That is the part that I can't understand what your goddamn logic is on that shit. You're trying to get him to run into a burning building. How the fuck, if he runs into a burning building, that he can help you? If he goes and kills himself off, how the fuck can he help you? You didn't want Cory Booker. You killed Cory Booker. I mean, I think, Black America wants white daddy so bad. They want Donald Trump. They want a Donald Trump to run for them. Call them nigga, beat their ass and shit like that. But be like, well, I love him because he keeps it real. Come on, man. You know that's not how fucking politics work. You don't make deals like that. I don't even know why we even have to tell these dum-dums this shit, man.
Now, if you're fighting for reparations, you're gonna have to word your movement in a certain type of way that doesn't raise any alarm. Okay? So when Bernie Sanders says, yeah, we're gonna raise the level, the tide for everybody so all ships could get off the bed floor and every ship could be able to float and move around, listen to him. Because he's trying to help you guys understand American politics, which you guys are illiterate about. You don't understand how it works. Your movement cannot be direct. Okay? Political groups are not named after their direction and their motive and what they're moving in. Okay? Yeah, you're gonna have to use some political science understanding in how to create and move your movement in this society. It's not going to be American descendants of slaves. Now, if you're going to be out front and open about your movement, you might as well say African Americans who were enslaved by Caucasian people.
Right.
Because you're going to get the same results, if not worse. But if you want to have political legs, you're going to have to be more discreet about your intention, and it should not be expressed by your name. It should not.
Fucking, and that is what really gets on my damn nerves is like these fucking entertainer fuckers that, selling this bullshit to these people, man. And understand and playing dumb, and they understand that like this whole reparations thing. Like I'm glad Umar Johnson finally said something. And you dum dums, you guys are so fucking stupid. Like, and what he said was he cannot support this movement. He respects it, but he can't support this movement because he's a Pan-Africanist. There's no way that you can really be a Pan-Africanist and ADOS. And he also made a tremendous point of the enslavement of African people was called the transatlantic slave trade. It wasn't the Cuban trade. It wasn't the Haitian trade. It wasn't the Grenadian trade, Barbados. It was the transatlantic trade. That means the Europeans. That means the Portuguese. That means the British. That means the Spanish. That was the slave trade. The proper way to get reparations would be through a united front and an international front, because there's a thing, one of the most powerful governing bodies in the world is the United Nations. The United fucking Nations. And actually Tariq Nasheed knew this. He's been talking about this for a fucking long ass time. So he can play ignorant now, but they know how to really get reparations. Like, people that's well versed politically, but they're just trying to make a couple dollars off this hyperbole and all this bullshit now. But what are your thoughts on Dr. Umar?
I love you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the idea of the school. That checks out 100%. I'm all for it. I'm against the name of the school of Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, yes, I accept Frederick Douglass. He's a half breed. If you are pushing a Pan Africanist ideology, uh, an African is one whose both parents are Africans, and that means that their blood isn't diluted as well. But for the most part, I support what Brother Umar Johnson is doing, because the way to freedom, the pathway to liberation and freedom is by education. There's no other way. You can't take a group of dumb niggas and be like, hey, they owe us reparations. That's what the ADOS movement is. A group of dumb niggas would be like, oh, you owe me reparations. You know, you need education. You need to educate your population in order for liberation. Outside of that, it won't happen.
Man, I don't even know anymore, man. But I need to start focusing on Haiti. You know, even though I was born over here, man, I think really, I have a son, and I don't want my son to grow up and to be indoctrinated with this way of thinking. This, especially how black people are, because this is not in a natural African state that we're in. Because a natural African state is more of abundance. It's not a scarcity paradigm. And it seems like I can't hear you. Oh, I got you now. But we're always living in scarcity. And when you're living in scarcity, you're easily manipulated. You're easily taken advantage of. Just like what we're seeing now with this ADOS movement. Because these people are really expecting a check. They're really expecting reparations. They are really dug in their heels. And they think that they're getting some type of reparations. And the other thing is the pure ignorance. I heard this guy, right? He's talking about reparations. I don't know why I got on this channel. It was probably the stupidest thing. It was a couple minutes of my life wasted. So he's making a video. He's like, oh, you know, about Bernie Sanders, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he's like, I want the cash. No, Bernie, I want the cash. I want the cash. I was like, these people don't understand that if you did get reparations, the worst thing that they could do to you is give you currency, give you a whole bunch of cash, right? Because you know the U.S. dollar is worth nothing. It says it on there. It's a debt to the fucking government. I wouldn't take anything less than land. But is it... I mean, I want to ask this question and don't want to sound like an arrogant prick by doing it. Are people that dumb?
Yes. They're actually dumber. They are actually dumber. First of all, let's get this straight. The American currency is not even owned by the American government.
Don't say that,
the
man.
$1 bill. Nah, I gotta break some hearts, man.
No,
I gotta break some
brains. So you mean to tell me that the ADOS movement, so those slaves are basically going to be owned by China. They're going to be Chinese slaves.
They're going to... with an African phenotype.
Wow. So all that cash in currency that they have at any time can be called by the Chinese.
At any time, whenever the bank calls on its calls to collect,
Are you?
They will be Chinese.
Wow. So if you were China and you knew that you had a whole bunch of niggas that just got your currency, what the fuck would you do?
Open up a whole bunch of KFC, chicken, liquor stores.
Dog, I think this is a plot to get the Arab people out of here because they literally are going to be so rich that they probably generations and generations of people are not going to need to work anymore in Arabs because. First of all, I mean the Koreans too, man. They're gonna be rich as a motherfucker too. I think they'll just pretty much move back to Korea, most of them, because all that money that niggas already love to give to them, like 1.3 trillion already to them. Imagine how much more money they're going to be able to give to them if they get these reparations, or when they get these reparations. Y'all niggas are getting that money.
Yeah. Listen, I think the average time frame on someone definitely within a year, I'm going to say about 90% of the recipients of the reparations will be broke within a year. 90%.
They should have never gave you niggas money. You remember it was
you know what?
Has the
There we go.
reparations. You know what I'm saying? They should have never gave you niggas money. You know what I'm saying?
In the mind of the ADOS person, if they go broke, they're gonna blame it on the government. So they are in a perpetual state of victimhood, where they're gonna say our ancestors gave their lives, so the government has to support me for the rest of my life. After they run through their reparations check. So that won't be the end of it. More begging will come.
Yeah. There's also this protected class thing that I keep hearing the ADOS people talking about, which is kind of a head scratcher to me because you're going to be a protected.
Why would they want to be protected? Why?
I don't know. They want to be a protected class, and I'm not sure what that means. Do you? I mean, I'm asking you. I'm trying to be enlightened on that. What the hell does that even mean? Protected class status.
I have no idea what they mean by that because, like, how do you get reparations and then extra? Like, what part of that comes from the demand of you being black versus what part of that comes from just reparations only? You know, so if you get a reparations check, what are the extra demands? Because I hear they say they want to close the wealth gap, but shouldn't black people who are not ADOS in America want to close the wealth gap too with whites? Because no matter where you go, European nations had a hand in the current situations of any black nation in the world.
Right.
So, but they want these extras and goodies aside from the check. They want all black, non-ADOS black folks to be excluded from these goodies and extras.
They're not.
Someone has to clarify.
It's so stupid. I mean, I know I joke around a lot and tell some kind of, make fun of you guys a little bit, but let's get a little bit serious. The black immigrants make up was like 3 million people in America, which is, I don't even think 10% of black immigrants, American, just in America. So we're a very small percentage, right?
Right.
Even with like 30-something million, they don't even have the right. They don't even have enough professionals within their group to really they don't even they don't even have enough doctors. They don't even have enough engineers. They don't have enough teachers. They don't have enough of anything to make their own infrastructure. They don't.
I can tell you why. The black immigrants took those jobs away from them.
Right. I'm just saying, if you don't have it within your own community and another community has a bunch of them that you said that's basically assimilated into their culture or whatever, and you want to kick them out, then how the hell are you going to run your infrastructure? You want to talk about this black republic that you want to have within the United States, but you don't even have enough professionals to accomplish that. You know, you've already ostracized the immigrants. I mean, there's no coming back from that shit. There's really no coming back from that shit. So, what are you really going to do? What can they do? Are they going to beg the Chinese, or are they going to beg the Indians to pretend to be black or something? Because they're going to overcharge. I mean, they're going to overcharge you. They're going to make you pay them a premium. And be like, niggas, no, niggas, we don't want to be with you. The only way we want to be with you is if you pay us more than the white man. If you can't pay us more than the white man, fuck you.
I mean, this goes back. They're not even a nation. So why would the Chinese even deal with them? They're not a nation. They cannot trade with any other foreign government. They can't do that. Haitians can. Jamaicans can. All black immigrants can. But an African American cannot trade with foreign governments.
They can't.
So they're just like, and someone mentioned that the other day. I didn't realize it until they said it. They're just like the black Brazilians. You're stuck in a country where you're stuck with your slave owners. You know, and you don't have a nation. You don't have a nation.
No.
And a lot of other, on a smaller scale, like in Colombia and all of these other South American Hispanic nations, that they're kind of stuck. You don't have a nation where you can call some shots. So until I see them become a sovereign nation and they can do international trading, then then they're worth something. They claim to be on par with the fourth richest nation in the world. The black community is. So
the black community in general, they have, was it $1.3 trillion in spending power. I don't know how real those numbers are, but it's a significant amount of spending power. Like, for instance, it would be like one of the biggest economies in the world. Like, for instance, Haiti's own economy is only like $8 billion, which is the poorest on the hemisphere. They could single-handedly, change Haiti like instantly, by proper investments or anything like that. But they're not African anymore, and they don't give a shit about whatever.
How much is Haiti's GDP?
It's like 8 billion. It's very small. It's
okay. How much is that? That's 200 million away from 200 billion away from what?
What do you mean, 200 billion? No,
yeah.
It's 8
if you
billion.
Round up,
it's only 8 billion.
If you round up, what's the next number if you round up to it? The next whole number.
10 10 billion.
Okay, which is $1 trillion, right?
No, it's not a trillion.
A thousand billion.
No, 1,000 billion is a trillion. Their economy.
So,
no, black Americans spend 1.3 trillion. That's like 100-something times more than Haiti's GDP. What I'm saying, a small investment.
No.
Huh?
What did you say? That's what compared to Haiti's GDP? How much?
Like 100 times more.
No, Haiti's GDP is, what'd you say, 800 billion?
No, it's not 800 billion. It's 8 billion.
Oh, it's only, okay, it's 8 billion. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you said 8
billion. Which it makes it the poorest in the hemisphere. Like, for instance, Oprah has about almost half of Haiti's GDP. That, which is crazy. What I'm saying is a small investment.
Right.
That's why, like, when the Clintons came in with, like, they made a $300 million investment, and they were basically able to rape, Haiti's resources for only like $300 million, and it
will go a long way.
Right. Yeah, they could go a long way.
That's all they would have to. That's all they would have to do is trade with the foreign black nations. Here, only in the Caribbean, it would go a long way. I mean, this is simple economics.
Right.
This is simple economics. So now this is one hand washing the other. You help create jobs in Haiti and all of these other Caribbean nations, and you circulate money over here for you. You sell whatever products that you created in Haiti in America. You're going to sell them in America.
Exactly. They could create.
This is what every other group does.
Right. They can create an industry like that in Haiti if they wanted to.
Yes.
And call it their own. And call it their own industry. Because, just a couple hundred miles right off the coast, you have people that look just like you right there, and you can change the complexity of their lives, and they can change the complexity of your life. See? That easy.
That easy. But it's gonna be there's some obstacles in the way, being that there was a strong declaration in separating from every other black ethnic group here in America.
Right.
How do you restore yourself? How do you repair that? I think it's unrepairable.
It is unrepairable, and the sad about it was there is tremendous amounts of investment opportunity, especially for African Americans here in Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, all those type of places. I mean, I actually saw something with Akon. Akon was saying, man, the investment opportunity in Africa is incredible. It's incredible. It's like one of those places. What do you think the Chinese are in there? They're offering billions of dollar loans to African countries. they're in there trying to go to make good with Africa, because they know that's where all the resources are at. You know what I'm saying?
That's the future. Africa is the future of the world.
It is. And the black Americans right now, and maybe it's a trick by Massa. Maybe it's a trick by Massa because he knows the opportunity over there, and he does not want them. He doesn't want them to realize the opportunity, and maybe he is manipulating them to pretty much alienate us and just kind of ruin the relationship that we have. I mean, according to them, we had no relationship, but whatever it was, it's been damaged, and they continue to cause further damage to it. Maybe because the white supremacists knew that, you know what, we can't let them make this connection, because if they start making this connection, they spend all this damn money, this $1.3 trillion. What if they start realizing, shit, oh my goodness, we could be making an investment in this country, you know, people that are actually offering us political asylum. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're offering us free land. They're offering us places to start businesses and stuff like that. And we might get these reparations, and we can take, along with the money that we already have, if we take that money and bring more money from reparations and shit like that over to that country, man, I mean, that could be a superpower in the making, but I mean, I guess that there's no chance of it happening now.
White daddy disenfranchised the richest group of black folks from going and investing in Africa. They made them atrophy and cut themselves off from Africa. Now this is, I mean, at a certain point, you gotta understand psychological mind games. You gotta understand. You chose to follow a movement where a half-breed lesbian is the face of, who is in an interracial relationship with a white woman.
Hey, you know what? I always want to apologize when I'm wrong, but I want to apologize to Yvette Carnell right now, because I think on one of my podcasts, I thought she wrote the article, the black men are the the straight black men are the white men of black people. I apologize. I was wrong. I should have checked my references. She didn't write that article, and I guess she was against that article. For some reason, I thought she did. Somebody had to point that out in my comments. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay? So you got me. But, man, Soul Traveler, man, the last thing I want to talk about, man, is, I don't know, man. I've been talking all this time, man. What do you got on your mind, man?
Well, basically, this ADOS thing is, I mean, we kind of went over some parts of it, but the ADOS thing, period, on how their ancestors had a chance to enter into Haiti. Mm-hmm. They had an opportunity to live in Haiti. The Haitian government went to America and invited them to farm. Do you remember the 40 acres and a mule that they're always talking about? Well, not 40. The Haitian government offered them 3 acres and a mule and some coffee to become farmers, because that's what the government was going to do. If the land was prosperous and it made money off of its products, they were going to expect that system, but not do it by slave labor. And this was a chance for Haiti to be great. This was a chance and the opportunity for Haiti to shine like the goddamn sun does in the daytime. But African Americans came and they didn't like when Haitian women wore turbans on their heads, or everyone showered in a river. They didn't like these things, these Haitian customs that they had. And so they packed up and they went back to America.
All because of that.
So, all because of that.
The customs.
I mean, land is land. Now, let me remind everyone, Haiti was a freely new nation, 20 years old, a sovereign nation, that it was only black folks and African Americans or ADOS ancestors chose to leave Haiti and go back to America. 13,000 came. Only 13,000 came. Now, this raises...
That they offered it to.
Right. And this raises a whole nother question, that not all black folks were slaves in America at this time. There were some free black folks, right? There were some black slaves, but there were some free black folks in America. So now, those free black folks, obviously there were free black folks who came to Haiti back in the 1820s, but they chose to go back to a slave-driven country. Why? Where their family members were slaves.
I heard that they did
the
the same
relatives
thing in
were slaves.
Liberia. I heard that a lot of them came back and went back to the United States in Liberia. But you know what? That says it says a lot. Because subjugated people. I mean, I'm not gonna get on those people, because that's just how. I guess that's just what it is, man. Those people are subjugated, and when you're subjugated, you start to embrace the slave master. What is it called? The Stockholm syndrome, where you
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome. I mean, I can't really blame it. It's a psychological thing. It's like that person that's being abused. You try to take them out of that situation, and they go right back to the home. You know what I'm saying? Like that woman that's getting beaten. She's gonna find a way to go back to the person that's beating her. I mean, that's just what it is,
right?
And I thought about it today, that the ADOS movement, like the people that have the ADOS movement, because words matter. And when you name yourself an American descendant of slavery or whatever, that is a cloth that you're wearing. And
right,
when you think about the descendant of slavery, that is a relationship with the slave master. That is a relationship with the slave master. And who are the two people,
brother? If I could add
America,
a small little bit.
What?
Yvette Carnell on YouTube said, "I am not African, I am American," and she took the American flag and draped it over her shoulders.
Right.
So she physically declared that.
But if you look at who has been together in America the longest, who has the closest relationship in America, who has been the most loyal to the slave master?
And it's not his dog.
No, it's not his dog. It's not. That guy Samuel Jackson on Django Unchained. That is who ADOS is right there. That is the guy, I mean, he's not really a field nigga. He's really not a house nigger. I mean, he is a house nigger, but he has I don't know. I mean, he's like the slave master's brother that never got acknowledged, that always wanted to be acknowledged, but never did. You know what I'm saying? It's family. Mm-hmm. It's family. The slave master kept telling that guy that I'm going to give you, one day you're going to eat at the big house, and I'm going to let you pick the first piece of chicken. And every time it comes to that meal, oh no, we're going to do it one more time. But Sambo, we need you to go beat some slaves or catch these slaves. And if you do this, we're going to get that. And then we're like, oh, all right, master, I got the slave. I got him. I beat him up, or I scared him, or whatever I did, whatever the Kuta Kente. Now can I get this? Nah, we can't do it because we're not cooking chicken tonight. But next time we cook chicken, I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna get a first seat at the table, and we're gonna even give you biscuits with butter, honey, and everything like that. All you got, but until then, I need you to do this, this, and this. Listen. What do you think that? What do you think Sambo's going to do?
Sambo is like that. If Master was metal, Sambo would be a magnet. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna do what how they got the laws of physics, mm-hmm. where you can't stop it. What goes up must comes down.
Yeah.
Sambo is the law of Sambo. Mm. Wherever there's Master, there's Sambo right behind them.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of Sambos, man. There's a lot of Sambos trying to catch on this because I go on YouTube right now, and then you just see people ADOS'd up right now. I don't even know if they're just opportunists trying to ride the wave of the hashtag. I'm tired of using the hashtag. I don't even want the hashtag. The view's not even worth the views anymore because it's exhausting the stupidity that you actually have to listen to and argue with. I really didn't understand how stupid like some of these people are that you have to deal with. I didn't understand now I understand why people have moderators, because the stupidity. It's not even a productive conversation anymore. Like I said, it's at the point of diminishing return. It's a point of diminishing return. Like, I'm getting nothing out of it. If anything, I'm becoming stupider by engaging in some of this stupid rhetoric. Like, these motherfuckers be knowing that whatever that they're trying to defend is a lie, and they double down. They do just like their daddy, like their white supremacist daddy, Donald Trump. You know how Donald Trump, when he lying and he doubles, he triples down, and he just digs in his heels on a lie, and then they turn around and try to tell you're lying. Like, this guy was arguing with me about whether or not because his whole argument was he's like, well, you got to take it up with the British. The Jamaicans have to take it up with the British, and the Haitians need to take it up with the French. And I was like, all right, let me ask you this question. Was the United States a British territory? Or was the United States British? It was a British colony, right?
Sure was.
Wasn't also United States a French territory at one time?
Sure was.
Were there not slaves in the French territory?
Sure was.
Where the fuck did those French slaves come? When they had a French empire over here and a French empire in the Caribbean, wouldn't it be logical to think that hey, some of these people that are enslaved that over in this French territory, don't you think they may have we know they came from the Caribbean because that's where the damn slave trade is at. I'm like, and some of the Jamaican people, if their island was a British territory, and the United States is a British territory or owned by the British, wouldn't it be logical to? And you have slaves on both. Are they? I mean, do they have different DNA or something?
What are their eye colors different, or is their hair different, or is their skin color different?
He's like, you need to take it up with Britain. I was like, duh. I mean, okay. Wasn't the United States part of Britain? I mean, yes, it was. And then I was like, answer that question. And he could not, he didn't answer the question. He deflected. He just kept going back and forth with me, making up these false narratives. Nah, bro, it's very easy. Answer the question. And it didn't happen. I mean, that's the type of conversation that I've been having with people.
Well, he wants massa in America all to himself. You know what I'm saying? This is the threat of there's a slave that's going to get some attention from master instead of me. And this is what it is. They want master's attention all for themselves. And this is now you're requiring thought. You're requiring research. You're provoking all of this higher understanding for higher knowledge, to lead them to somewhere that they are afraid of going. They don't want to know the truth. They don't want to know that, hey, this is a global thing. It's not an American thing. It's not local. It's not national. This is global. Okay? Your claim is going to have to wait, buddy, because this is everyone else's claim. And that's what they're afraid of.
Boy. You know how the world works, man. Boy, I will bet any amount of money, boy, they will be hot, boy, if somebody else gets some reparations before them that's black, boy. Imagine if, the Haitians mess around and got their reparations before them, boy, or Jamaicans got their reparations before them. And that's another thing I want to address. The Jamaicans have been fighting and talking about reparations for years, right? 4 years.
Yes.
And black Americans claim to know this, right? They claim to know this. Let me ask you this. You were talking about all this support that the Jamaicans have been giving you. Let me see, how much support have you been giving them in their reparation fight? Just asking.
Well, you see, that's different. That's different.
That's different.
That's different.
Have you seen any movement in America for Jamaicans to get their reparations from the British, or the Barbadians to get their reparations for the British? Because all this support that they always talk about, that, we don't give it to them, they give us to them. They give us the support. But have you heard of support system? Have you ever heard of them saying, "Oh, did Jamaicans need their reparations?" I'm just asking for a friend.
Well, unfortunately, no, I haven't. I haven't seen a movement. I haven't heard of a movement. But you black immigrants need to support ADOS. I've been told countless times that we need to support ADOS.
Yeah. but they've had a movement for reparations for years, but nobody has supported them. This is, bro,
Exactly.
dog. I think this is definitely a Nigerian scheme, bro. This is a Nigerian scam, dog. Somebody called me the other day. They said that they
What do you mean by that?
ended up getting. They ended up getting the Tariq's mic from his Mink Slide show the other was it the other month or something like that. He got that and got the DNA tested on there, and it said that he was 100% Nigerian. And you know he's always talking about he's going with the Nigerians, dog. So I think this is what I think, dog. I think that he's a Nigerian, dog. And he
hold up. He does hang out with a lot of Nigerians.
I think this is like a scam. You know how like they used to write letters to like white women and people and be like, oh, or no, just people in general. Be like, oh yeah, you're a son of a king. Just send us this tax money. This tax money to pay this tax off, and we'll send you $3.5 billion or of your inheritance because of your lineage. I think that he might have thought of that shit. He's like, man, this is a good scheme. That nigga's definitely a Nigerian, dog.
Wow.
You don't think so?
Wow. Tariq. Hey, you know what? You make me think about it. He hangs around with Nigerian people. He goes to Africa. Wow.
That nigga's Nigerian.
Wow.
Bro.
Wow. Imagine that. This is like flat Earth, you know? What if Tariq Nasheed is Nigerian? Who supported him to make all of these documentaries? Was it Nigeria?
I don't know, man. I think it might have. I don't know. Hey, I remember the time that nigga was that nigga made, I think his first video might have got bootlegged. I think it got bootlegged.
Tariq is a Nigerian. Tariq is a Nigerian prince, huh?
Yeah, I think did his first CD get bootlegged? No, did it get bootlegged? Because I remember on
I have no idea.
I think that nigga got bootlegged. I think he got bootlegged because I think there was a video where he made up where he went like in LA somewhere trying to check this Nigerian or one of these African people for selling hidden color bootleg. So I think that's when he started dissing his culture. I think he was Nigerian up until that point. Then he got mad, because he couldn't be Nigerian anymore. He had to kind of change, his whole thing and became ADOS.
I think I recall him repeating something like that where, but I believe he said he was at like a Million Man March somewhere in Washington, D.C. or something like that. Somewhere in D.C. It was a black event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I heard that story before, where a Nigerian brother was selling
bootleg copies of Hidden Colors, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bootleg copies of Hidden Colors.
So that's when he was.
Oh, was that caught on tape?
I don't know. I got to check, but I think that's when he decided that he didn't want to be Nigerian no more, and he wanted to be Haitian after that because he saw that big check. Or no, that was in between that. He wanted to be white because he was making white horror films.
He did make a horror movie, didn't he?
Yes. The Eugenist. And I don't know, I never seen that movie. My
question is, how can you be a Moor and American at the same time.
What the? I still don't even understand what the whole Moor thing was. I know that they say that some of us came from Moorish ancestry, but
Okay.
I don't understand about that sovereignty. Can you give me a quick 101 about that? What is that all about?
Oh, brother, I'm sorry. I apologize. I wish I could help give you some understanding on that, but I'm just as clueless on the Moorish identity and the nationality.
So is being Moorish and melanated the same thing, or can you be Moorish, melanated, ADOS, and Aboriginal?
I got a question.
And first native.
That's a question. A descendant of slaves. A Moorish descendant of slaves.
So, but can you be Moorish? Can you be Moorish? Aborigine or a foundational descendant of slaves?
Boy, if that ain't an exclusive title, I don't know what is.
Or could you be a lesbianic, Pan-African, Moorish?
Into swirling.
Can you be a swirler and Moorish and a descendant of a slave at the same time?
Wow. Wow.
Or can you be a slave master, Moorish, and foundational, and a descendant of slavery at the same time?
My question is, who would follow such person?
Oh man, bro. I don't even know, man. I think this might be the last ADOS video, man. Next time I get on here, I'm going to start talking about more production stuff. I mean, obviously this subject is boring now. It's not even worth it anymore. I'm waiting for Tariq to Cornell West. To go at, I mean, Yvette Carnell. I thought Carnell West to go at it. I can't wait for them to start their beef, or maybe Antonio Moore and him. One of them going to go after each other, but in the conference, I might go to the conference, dog. I just might go to the conference.
You gonna attend the conference?
Huh?
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Did you say you were going to attend the conference?
I want to attend the conference, man. Show my support. I'm going to go in there with my Moorish garb. And, I'm going to wear a fez. I'm going to wear a fez. And I'm also going to have my tribunal card, my Moorish sovereign nation card. So,
right.
Yeah. I'm gonna come there. I might holler at Sotomayor and see if he wants to come with me. That'd be
a small word of advice.
What?
A small word of advice. Judging from history, in a black-on-black crime, I would probably suggest you wear a bulletproof vest when you're there.
Okay, I would. All right, man. Any parting shots, man?
One time to you, Adolf. It's unfortunate you guys. They came in a flash and they will leave in a flash. We won't even hear it during the presidential election. That's it.
All right, man. we got to get back on this thing again, man. But hey, man, thank you for coming back on the show, man. We'll chop it up definitely, man. Once I can get my mic and shit
no fixed, problem.
Man, we'll do a live on there, man. Maybe we'll do a room just exclusively for Haitians. You know what I'm saying? An ADOS, an ADOS safe zone. You know what I'm saying? Like a shelter. To away from ADOS people. Anybody that starts talking that bullshit in our room, man, we just kick them out. All right.
We got a little bit of work to.
Just getting them, man.
That's fine by me, brother.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. But anyways, man, you have a good night, man. Good Sunday night, man. Stay blessed, man. And until we talk again, man, holla at your boy.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
No doubt, man.
Peace.
That's Soul Traveler, man. Make sure you guys go check him out, man. He's on YouTube, man. Check out his channel, man. Also, man, like and share this video if you like it. If you dislike it, I don't give a shit, man. But holla at your boy, man. No Cupcake Zone. Check me out, man. If you have any suggestions, man, hit me up on Facebook, Johnson Marseille, at gmail.com or tripleblack239 on Instagram, man. Check me out on that, man. But holla at your boy, man.